Hey guys, welcome back to another Vinny Vid Productions. In this video, I'm going to do a couple of updates. I want to thank again Thomas McEwen for turning me on, or turning everybody on to those backdrops by Radical Flats. Anyhow, I did get them this past week, and I did change the position where they were going to go, and I just felt it might be a better move. It looks more prototypical where I put them right now. Also, must be a week of requests, because I have had another request from Geno. Geno, I'm sorry if I pronounce your last name wrong, but I'm going to do that overall view of the layout for you in this video. But first we'll do the updates, and I'll show you what I've done so far. Anyhow, stay tuned and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're going to start right here. As you can see, I finally got an order from Highways and Byways, John Howard. I just want to let you know that I got them, and I did start installing them on my road. So let me show you what they're going to look like. Anyhow, oops, sorry for that. We'll go ahead and back this out. And there you go. Take this out of the way. And as you can see, I have installed them down here, and I also have installed them up here. The only thing I would suggest is for the end scale guys like myself, when I was taking it off the backing paper, you got to be real careful where it crosses, where the X is, because I did tear one last night. I was kind of angry at myself, but I was able to put it back together. Anyhow, stay tuned and we'll get on to the next part of this update. Be right back. Alright guys, if you remember in my mini runs up session for Tyler, I said I was going to put those Radical Flats on the street that's actually right behind here. But I thought that they would look better in another place, so what I did was I took all of these guys, all my scratch built backdrop buildings, and placed them over here, as you can see. And Jimmy, there's your gas station. The last building in the line there is actually a cornerstone kit. But anyhow, I think these look better here because it gives me a bit more room in front of here for trucks and stuff like that, which I couldn't have in the other room. Now, if you remember correctly, all these buildings were across from the ethanol plant. So now, I'll take you into the other room and I'll show you the Radical Flats, how I placed those. Alright guys, we're out here in train room number 2 now, and I'm going to show you what I have actually done with these Radical Flats. I think it looks more prototypical, gives me a nice look, and the space from the building to the street is more appropriate than it would have been in the other room. So let's take a look at this. I got the Main Street series, and as you can see, all the buildings are here, and I have not put them on poster board yet, or whatever, the foam board, but it takes up from that point all the way down to right there, and that's about 8 feet of backdrop that I have purchased, and it cost me about 20 bucks. Anyhow, I think they look really good in this position. Kind of fills out the scene, and it's more prototypical of what is actually across the street from well, what used to be the intermodal yard, but it's more prototypical to see those type of buildings there. Anyhow, I'll get on with the rest of this video, which will be an overall view of my layout for Geno. Anyhow, stay tuned and we will be right back. Yeah, I think these look good. I put some people on the sidewalk there, and yeah, it'll look really good. These are excellent backdrops, guys. I mean, come on. The depth The depth at the doorways is what impresses me because it really looks like it goes in. But anyhow, I'm very well pleased with them, and I would recommend anybody who wants some backdrops to go ahead and get it. Anyhow, stay tuned, like I said, and we'll be right back for an overall view of my entire layout for Geno. Be right back. Alright guys, what you're looking at is the original track plan that I drew up about 6 weeks before I actually moved into the house. There have been some changes to the layout, but basically it's just about the same as you see it in the drawing. The additions are right here. Instead of having these guys here, they're more often to here. And from this point to here is actually in a closet. So Bill, you're not the only one that puts stuff in closets. The distance from here to here is just over 12 feet, and the distance from here to the wall is about 9 feet 8 inches. So when you go into the other room, this is the wall right here. The distance from here to here is just over 10 feet, and the distance from here to here is just about 13 feet. And then we have 8 feet across here and 8 feet down to here. So stay tuned, and I will show you what the upper level drawing looks like. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, you're looking at the upper level of my layout. Eventually it'll leave the lower layout, come up the helix here, and it'll travel down here with a passing siding here, and there's supposed to be some sort of a brick manufacturing plant right here, which I'm not sure if I'm putting in yet, but we'll see about that. So anyhow, we continue around here, and right here is going to be a dry riverbed. It's called Aqua Fria Dry Riverbed. As we come around, and again, this is the same distance. This is 8 feet again, and then we'll come around here, and this will be Fertizona, which is also one of my scratch builds. And as we travel further up the line, we will have LPG receiving center. If we travel a little further, there'll be a river scene right here, which is called the Haciampa River, and then we will go through the wall into the first train room, and this will be Wickenburg Depot. As we travel on further down, we'll have a canyon over here. It's called Hell's Canyon, and then there's the next one right after, which is called Little Hell's Canyon. And finally, the last leg, this will be Ash Fork, Arizona, and it's just a drop-off point for where the P-Vine drops their cars off, and another crew will come out and take it on down to Kingman or Flagstaff to interchange with the BNSF cross-country or transcontinental mainline. Anyhow, stay tuned, and I will go over the track plan with you guys as it is right now. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, as I mentioned earlier when I first started this part of the video, that I did make modifications, and this is one of them. I added on this little section right here for two reasons. First of all, I wanted to get those two industries in there, which actually are right alongside the yard, but unfortunately I couldn't put it there because my table with my yard is already 4 feet deep. The raised area back there, right there, will be my representation of the I-10 freeway, and this is not supposed to be a loop type railroad. It was actually started out as a point-to-point, and it would start right here at Mobash Yard. My engine facility and my yard is actually 7 tracks short. They have 11, and I have, actually it's 5 or 6 tracks short. I only have 6 actual track for rolling stock. Then across the way there, we got sand plumbing, and the space between sand plumbing and Smith Pipe and Steel will be a truck repair facility and a heavy equipment leasing place. Alright, as we cruise on down the rest of the line, here's the rest of Mobesh Yard, and here's Paramount Petroleum. These are all prototypical buildings, and most of them, actually about 95% of them, are all scratch built by me. The mountain back there really doesn't belong there. I just put it there for now, just to take up all that space that's back there. There's a lot of non-railroad related stuff, retail stores and stuff like that. We'll come on around a little further, and then of course there is McDowell Road. Now I want to say something about Grand Avenue, which is the road that's way back there that follows Peavine there. It actually doesn't make a 90-degree turn like I have it. It's actually a 45-degree turn. And Grand Avenue is one of the very few streets that actually cut the blocks in 45-degree angles. Anyhow, we'll continue around, and you know those industries because we just switched them out. And of course, like I said, those are the backdrops I'm going to be using back there. And we will come around, and eventually we will enter room number 2. And where all the junk is sitting up on that is going to be the I-17 overpass. And eventually the I-17 and the I-10 meet up. The distance from that wall to that wall is just about 10 feet, or just over 10 feet, or just under 10 feet. I don't remember. Anyhow, let's get into the other room, and we'll carry on from there. So stay tuned, and I'll move the camera around, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're going to continue here. From train room number 1, we enter train room number 2 through the hole in the wall. And from that wall all the way to the end of this wall here, I think, I'm not 100% sure, I don't remember, but I think it's about 12 feet, 11, 12 feet, I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, I have some other building flats back there by another company. I don't remember the name of them, but anyhow, I got some back there. And then we'll come around to this side, which is entering the Glendale area. And again, from this wall here right to the end down here is about 13 feet. And then we'll move around to here, and this will be well, you know what, maybe I should move the camera over a bit so you guys can see it better. So from that wall we continue on down here, and this is the North Glendale area, and it's not right off of Grand Avenue. It actually is like maybe a half a mile off Grand Avenue in the back, one of the back roads. That road right there would be like I don't know, 75th Avenue or something like that. But anyhow, we'll continue on here. We come around, and from where it turns here to the end of the board down there is another 8 feet, and then we'll start with my helix. The helix is going to go up about 6 or 7 turns. It's going to raise it up to about 15 inches, and I'm going to try and keep it to a 2% or less grade. The bridge you see there, both of those bridges will be going over the dry riverbed, as well as going over the river scene. Now once we get up on the helix, we'll come back around this way, and like I said, they'll be around here, and then where that blue tape is the height of the top of my second level. It's going to be about 15 inches above the bottom level, and it will continue around the back side there, and again it'll go through the wall. And once we get through the wall, we'll go back into train room number 1. So hold on. Alright, once we come back through the wall, we'll be up on the 2nd level. As you can see, I already have the framework up here. The mountains will be there. It's what it looks like up there, and there'll be lots of pine trees rather than the deciduous trees that are down on the lower level. It gets more deserty and more mountainous, and we're getting further up north, so it starts to get colder up there, so the trees are different and the shrubbery is different. Anyhow, this spot right here is going to be what I called before a Hell's Canyon. I'll be using the microengineering deck girder bridge up there. I think that's what it's called. And then finally, we'll come around this way, and this will be the final destination up here. But sorry for the mess up there, guys, but I'm running out of room to put all this stuff. But anyhow, again, it goes back into the closet, and that will be the town of Ash Fork, Arizona. Geno, I hope you enjoyed this little presentation of my layout that you asked for. Hope all you guys liked it, as a matter of fact. And as always, your questions, comments, input, and subs are always welcome. For now, that's all, folks. BNSF 6951 out.